What's up, the future? Hang out with me. I am doing a little, talk a little bit about my life, and I'm going to be making a drink. Got some of these. Rain is tasty. Now, I would be wary of anything with Christian symbolism. I've had people tell me caffeine is a neurotoxin. I don't know. It's got CoQ10, BCAA aminos, electrolytes, everything plants crave. It's got, and then I got some of this. This stuff is pretty tasty. I like it. Yeah, I hadn't done art for weeks because it was just too cold. It was like the crayon splay changes when it's really, really, really cold, like icy. And for weeks, you could see my breath. I had a big onesie parka, so I wasn't too cold, and I have gloves and hand warmers and stuff. Oh yeah. I recommend this stuff. It's pretty good. 70 calories for an okay big drink. It's you don't want no calories, unless you're going for getting shredded, which I'm not. You could offer me being totally shredded, and I don't think I would take it. I like being how I look. It makes me feel safe. And yeah, I mean, I used to shiver all the time. I was a champion swimmer and a Army veteran, and I was shredded. I was low fat, good shape, and all that stuff. And yeah, I didn't stop shivering until I got a little fatter. I used to shiver all the time. A little bit of cold, and I was, I just couldn't hold it together. And now I'm a little bigger, and wow, it can be snowy outside, and I don't feel shit. So yeah, I see that with skinny people. They get really, really, really cold. The skinny thing. I'm gonna say it like it is. It's pedo bullshit. It is. It's about look how big my dick is. So you need little victims, and I'm just that's no good. It's no good for people. Yeah, it's really not. It's really shameful. So yeah, I'm on a hill. I don't know if I'm hidden. There's only a tiny window where they can see me, but I guess they could technically see me. I hope not. I don't have a camouflaged vehicle at all. I've thought about it, painting my car OD green. It might not be a bad idea. That might not be a bad idea. But I'm also just kind of honest about me just being out here. I don't really care. Yeah. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. One of my resin pendants broke yesterday. It was swinging around in the car and it cracked in half. And I glued it back together. And then I hung it out on a branch to get some sun because it's UV. And that was shining like a ball of light all night. Or all day. It was just really cool. The stars out here are amazing. I'm quite some miles from a major city, really quite a ways, probably at least 2 hours from a major city. And it's it's dark out here, and the stars are so cool. I love the stars at night. It's totally comforting. The sun is really cool because the sun is such an intense presence. But being able to see outside of the blue sky is wow, what a wonder, that as the word goes, we have trillions of galaxies. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. I was sleeping awful last night because the wind picked back up, but I got some of my earplugs. Oh, I need to buy more earplugs. I got to remember to do that. Yeah, I got some of my earplugs, and I slept pretty good after that. Yeah, earplugs you can sleep in, really great. Yeah. I'm excited for RE9. I'm not gonna play it, but I'm excited to watch people play it. I might play it. I don't know. I could download it on my Switch and give it a go. Um, Resident Evil is like, it's kind of like the safe room thing. Like the game is dangerous and scary, and there's monsters, and it's kind of like, it is fun because it's like you're gonna benefit by knowing who you can run past and ignore, but it still makes like it kind of like a hot hallway. It's like, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I did art last night because it actually warmed up. It's like the first night in months it didn't get freezing at night. Yeah, it's like been above freezing, so yeah. I've only got a little while here. I got paid early, so gosh, I have so much money now that I quit drinking and smoking weed. I really do. Just I was spending literally like, you know, maybe $200-300 a week on alcohol, and then probably like $1,000 a month on weed, and like really like overspending. And now that I'm just not doing that, I can afford like car repairs and stuff. um so it's pretty nice. So yeah, the thing about getting paid early is it means you're going to get paid late next time. So next for our concoction, we've got Prime. Actually, first for our concoction, we've got some lithium water. I think part of like my general mood improvement has been the lithium. Um, they've done studies. Oh, it's really funny. They made a nuclear bomb out of lithium and it exploded like 20 times more powerfully than they expected. Um, and they know that people with lithium in their water supply have like no depression. So yeah, I definitely feel like it's helped me, drinking lithium. Yeah, a lot of neurological conditions can be because of parasites or nutrition. Yeah. That's why it's like, I don't believe in punishment. I believe that if people had good lives, they wouldn't be criminals. But I do believe in like segregation and care, right? If somebody's dangerous, you should take them out of society. Like basically like replace the cell with like a holding pen where they can be there, they can be guaranteed safe. Um, yeah, awful crimes. Yeah, you should if someone commits an awful crime like Koberger, the guy who snuck into that girl's dorm and stabbed a bunch of people. Yeah, you should go to jail for life. No question about that, but it's not a punishment, it's for our safety, you know. It's you just can't be trusted outside. It's really simple, and it's a lot less aggressive than like, we're going to hurt you back, right? Which is very much like kind of primitive, I feel like. So, but yeah, doing art yesterday was pretty fun. I have been lacking in good music. Maybe I'll give Taylor Swift a try. No, I've tried Taylor Swift songs before. I don't really like them. It's just like, to me, it seems like pay to win. It's okay. See, this is the situation with pay to win, right? Is that most people are actually enormously talented. Most people have um, tons of creative potential given to them by their ancestors. And the famous ones you see are rich, right? They're born rich. Like Taylor Swift's dad is a stockbroker. Taylor Swift's mom is a marketing expert, right? They were two working professionals who made big money, and she grew up in a huge house. And you know, I did not. I shared a bedroom with my brother, right? Um, I um, I had anytime I wanted anything, I had an earful about it, and usually the first answer was no. Um, so my parents never bought me braces. My parents never bought me a car. You know what I mean? Like, I used to walk to school. Um, I'm not like, um, Yeah. So it does help to have like rich family, because that like first $10,000 or that first $100,000 can mean a lot, right? It moves a lot of stuff. On myself, I've spent maybe $200, right, on promotion. Great results, amazing results. So I can't imagine what like $10,000 a week would do, right? I would be famous. Everybody would be talking about the art sensation. But right now they see like no views and they go like, most people aren't leaders. Most people follow what everyone else is doing, right? They're not willing to step out and be the first person to say it's good. They need to see everyone else doing that to care. So, yeah. I've been trying to get a good self-defense knife. I got this one, which I really hate. I hate this because the spine is in the middle, and this is not bladed. This is just like a firm ridge, and then these bumps are really uncomfortable. So this might be like a drop, right? I might just like throw this into a log somewhere and leave it. I like doing stuff like that, like I leave treasure that's meant to be hidden, right? And I also leave treasure that's like meant to be found, right? And then I leave poo in holes. I do. I'm a proud squatter. I have a like a pick shovel hybrid, and I dig a hole. And you're supposed to do that because the mycelium will break it down quicker. If you dig it into the ground, it's like in the forest, it'll decompose in 2 months. And in the desert, it'll decompose in a year. But it's not a permanent fixture. It's not like it's going to be poo forever. It really does like go away. So it's kind of a harmless crime. It actually is harmless. It actually doesn't hurt the environment at all. So, and then I was trying to find a self-defense one. So I got this one, which is a much better stabber. And this is really just for like one of my armaments while I'm sleeping, so I can like react, because I sleep with my windows open. So I want to be able to like grab a weapon or a spray or a gun or something and defend myself. I don't want to start shooting if I don't have to, you know what I mean? So yeah, I got pepper spray and stuff. Oh, I had to use my fire extinguisher. I had a fire get out of control a couple nights ago, and it just caught the grass on fire, and it burned like really quick and pretty big. And as soon as I realized it was like spreading faster than I could contain it, instead of wasting my water, I used my fire extinguisher, and it was a good fire extinguisher. I got it off Amazon. I ordered 2 more, so I'll be picking that up in a couple days. But yeah, that was my first like semi-accident, and it was really because I was like just setting the grass on fire. Literally, I didn't put the fire in a stone ring or a cleared bare patch. I just like put it right on top of the grass, and yeah, the grass was expanding in a ring, and that fire was hot. That was hot. Yeah, fire is scary. Fire way mad scary. Fire burn, right? It's kind of this crazy like reality of our life, right? That we use fire for all of our technology. If you pay attention to like chemistry or material science, almost all of it is like heat it up, cool it down, spin it around. You know what I mean? Those are the techniques we have for manipulating matter. It's really heat it up, cool it down, spin it around. That's really all we've got. Use gravity as a filter, right? And that's like heat it up, cool it down is like Song of Ice and Fire. You know, it's like most of our techniques. That's what it is. So just okay. This is how it works. The sun is right there. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, fire is just like devastating. It's when it catches big, and it's way hot. Way hot. Yeah. You can feel a fire. I've seen people recording near like a forest fire, and it's like 200 yards away, and they're like, I can feel it. It's like this wave of heat, This is just like way too much. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. That's what they mean, like go to hell is get burned. Oh man, that'd be awful. Yeah. You don't want to be trapped with fire. Have a fire extinguisher. Get yourself a fire extinguisher. My point is that this was a non-toxic fire extinguisher that didn't leave a residue, and it worked good. I put out the fire in a ring, still had a lot left over, so I just like coated the area so it wouldn't burn at night when I was asleep, and then threw it away and ordered some more. So yeah, that was the second fire extinguisher I've ever had to use in my life. The first was a Iraqi bought power strip. They went to the Iraqis to buy a power strip, and of course it caught on fire. So it's like, oh, it was freaking sabotage. Yeah, I got that from China too. I had like a car jack plug outlet for like your auxiliary in the car, and I got it. I saw a TikTok sale for $1. I was like, "You're selling that for $1? Of course I'll get it." It burned the outlet out. It destroyed the outlet. Fortunately, I've got extra outlets, but it's like, yeah, I lost my outlet because the thing like overheated and fried it. So it's like, was it on sale because they knew it was defective, or did they know you couldn't say no to $1? So they're like, fuck you, you know? Yeah, living on planet Earth is like that. People are your enemies, and they're gonna go out of their way to ruin your day just for fun, just out of spite. You know, it's kind of just like a problem. Yeah, it's definitely a problem with living here. Definitely makes it challenging. Um, so yeah. Anyway, blah blah blah. What else is going on? Yeah, I liked doing art last night. That was pretty fun. It's been a while. It was just frozen. I didn't feel like putting like a frozen crayon on like cold paper. It just wasn't fun, so I didn't do it. But now it's warmed up. It was like 40 degrees last night, which was nice. It was like, it was seriously like a week ago, it was 8 degrees. You know, it was like 8 degrees at night. Yeah, it was just too flipping cold. And now it's like a lot warmer. But this fucking wind is annoying. I hate the wind. 5 miles an hour. Perfect wind. Just enough to be a breeze. You don't want 0. But like, yeah, 5 miles an hour. Perfect wind. Absolutely. Just enough for a breeze and not disrupting anything. 20 miles an hour. It's way too much wind. That shit is annoying. Yeah. So, whatever. It's just some of the challenges of life. What else is going on? I don't know. That's it. I've been chewing this stuff. I think I showed you before. Hydroxyapatite. Apatite. I can't chew that because my drink will taste nasty. Yeah. Oh yeah, yesterday I left super early. I like went to bed at like 2 a.m. and then I woke up at like 5 a.m. and then I went to the I went to town super early and got all my stuff done ahead of time, and yeah, that wasn't bad. But some of my packages hadn't gotten there yet, so now it's like I've got a lot there. Yeah, getting paid early sucks because it's like you're gonna have to just like, it's like just pay them on the first, right? Because if you pay them early, now they'll blow through their money before the end of the month, and then paying them early again doesn't feel like early. It feels like just in time. So I don't know. It's nice though. Yeah, you don't want to do what I did to get paid the way I get paid. It's not easy or repeatable. You're not guaranteed to survive, and it sucks. So I'm lucky. I am lucky. I knew people that did not make it, and I did. So hey, whatever. I would have been way richer getting a job in the money, chasing the money. Even being a mechanic, I would have been a lot richer. I wouldn't have minded being a mechanic. Not at all. You get paid really good, and I like doing hands-on stuff to like earn money because you can see the fruit of your work, like mechanic or construction. Construction's kind of cursed these days. I don't really like how they do construction, and of course I'm not big on like gasoline fuel vehicles, but at least they're like honest jobs where you do something where it's like you materially do something, right? You're not just like, oh, I'm paid for management. Oh yeah, that must be so hard, right? Telling other people what to do. Oh man, I'm not really big on that. Like those like non-material jobs, like jobs that don't physically do something for us. Not big on that. Research is different. Yeah. We need scientists probing into the unknown. That's an okay job to me. That's also helpful. But like anybody who's like some paper pusher or something like that, it's the shittiest job, and you just don't want that. You don't want that. Yeah, mechanic would be fun because it's like hands-on and direct. It's work. It's real work. You're working for like 8 fucking hours. I've been a mechanic before in the military. You are responsible for your own vehicles, and so you do pretty high level maintenance yourself. Yeah. And yeah, it's super simple. Like stuff doesn't break all the time. I had a 1068, a tracked vehicle. I never had to break track, never had to fucking me throwing. I feel so bad for him, this lieutenant. I had this lieutenant in my hatch, and I was purposely hitting bumps to fucking bounce him. And he complained and asked me not to, and I absolutely did not. And he got transferred out of the unit because he felt like I didn't like him. I didn't. He used to walk around with his pants unbuttoned, and then he would like talk about his fashion shows he would go to. And I purposefully was like freaking bouncing him and shit like that. Like, what a fucking little ego. I hated that guy. Yeah, he got transferred. But yeah, he asked me to stop hitting bumps like that, and I hit him even harder. I was like super. It's kind of funny. Like, I am kind of like that, where it's like, once my irritation level boils over, I really can't help it. I'll just act out, just like kind of mischievous, but raw and natural, So, yeah. Yeah, I tried looking for me when I was driving up and I couldn't see me, which is obvious. I'm not there. I'm in the car, right? God, this wind. It's gonna die down the next few days, but it's pretty awful. But yeah. No, it feels nice having some money saved up. It does. Especially since February was a short month. Yeah. So I just need it for like car repairs, right? It's like if anything goes wrong with my car, I need to be able to fix it. And like I've had it happen where I had a major car repair and then I had to go into debt to pay it off. And that sucked. It only took me like 3 months to pay it off, but you should plan on like enough money for a fucking engine replacement at least, and then you're covered. And then you can like sleep easy, take care of the car with maintenance, and then if something major goes wrong, you can get it fixed. Ooh, the flight of birds came back. Hey, buddies. Yeah. Birds are not real. No, birds are real. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, I was thinking about my parents last night, and it's like all I have to think about is how they treated me, and then I don't want to talk to them anymore. It's like the circumcision, the what do you call it? My mom was a nag. And my dad was kind of a jerk, and they were kind of like, they were really toxic together. And when I did get them divorced, and I like planted the seeds of it, and I made it happen through like deception. And it made it a lot better because she was like nicer and more cozy. And then he also like never ever ever did any of the shit he used to do. He absolutely like changed his behavior. He didn't think it could happen. He thought these people are forced to be with him and they wouldn't dare, and we dared. So yeah. Yeah. But then my mom, she got with this other guy, and they've been together as long as I was with her. You know, I was her child for about as long as they've been together. And she's like changed loyalty. She's like this guy's property now. Even when I came over last time, I heard her yell at him, "Get up," you know, and told her to go fucking talk to me. So yeah, she's a problem. She's like, "He's my soulmate," and I'm like, "He's an old fat Mexican." No offense, but there's no way you're like, "Oh wow, this dude's so cool. He looks like shit." He's not that cool, you know. And she drives him around like a slave, right? She's a nag, right? So he's always doing stuff. They're always retiling the house. She has infinite chores, infinite chores. That woman is always thinking of shit to do, right? I don't do it like either of them. I remember my parents, this is how my parents were, right? They would ignore me and they would do chores. They were like always doing them though. Like, yeah, the house was spotless, but I didn't have like that was their life, right? They weren't like cozy at home people. They were like, put that away. It better be. Some people are like that, right? It's like they just want a little bit of furniture out and everything should be spotless, right? No stuff, right? You couldn't leave something on the counter or it would piss them off, right? And that did not rub off on me at all. Not in the least. I'm the complete opposite. I live in, you know, piles of stuff and mess, and to me this is relaxing. To me this is like cathartic. It's like I can just put something somewhere random and nobody's gonna freak out at me for it. And it's like, way better. So yeah. Yeah, my dad was just like, he was a Catholic, but he was very Jew-like in that his like respect for tradition and his austerity and his just like, and that was by his own confession, is that he like, just like the British crown did it, is that they had respect for the Jews, you know. The Jews were his chosen people and we have the new covenant with Jesus, but he believed all that nonsense. So yeah. No, he was a weapons manufacturer. Believe me, he never gave me any money in life. He would never give you money if you like threatened him with me. He wouldn't care. He wouldn't care at all. But yeah, no, he's stingy. He told me once, he's like, "I hope you didn't think I was a cheapskate." And I was like, "That's exactly who I think you are. I think you're just cheap." I think he wanted kids for him, and when his kids had wants and needs, that was inconvenient, and he wasn't about it. So yeah. Steven. No, he told me once they used to call him in school Sniveling Steven, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good name. Good name for you." Yeah, he was really like, because he was circumcised and lied to, he like had this like petty outrage. He would suppress it, but it would come out. And he um but he stayed nestled in the church that did it to him. So yeah, it's really sucks. Yeah, these like religious hardliners read the Bible and go like, "Wow, I'm gonna impress God by circumcising my children." And it's like, thanks, dude. That's one of the reasons I live alone and I won't like take a significant other or take a mate, is I just like, I don't like being circumcised. I don't trust the government. It doesn't do anything for me. You know, if I had kids, I would feel bad for them. I would like, not my parents never, the amount I've talked now, I've never heard them say. My parents, you know, along with like the cleaning and the hard work espoused by religion, they also maintain silence, right? And so what happens is that you have no practice speaking your mind. And then once you do, it comes out stupid. And that's kind of my parents' problem, is that they're silence aficionados. They are. My parents are silence aficionados, which was funny because my dad snored really loud. My dad snored insanely loud. And it was like fucking awful. So years later, he goes, "Did you know I have sleep apnea?" And I was like, "Oh, no shit. Yeah, I did know. I told you, you snore really loud. You couldn't believe me." You're like, "I don't hear it." Yeah, we all did. It shakes the house. So, yeah, I just like, it's true that if a child, like, I see that happen sometimes where children reject their parents. Children look at their parents and go, like, "I don't like either of you. Neither of you are cool," right? And then they just like, they commit like suicide, really. Is they just like, they don't want to exist or make kids because they don't like themselves. They don't like who they are. So it's like, sometimes life favors just a blind animal, right? They're like, I'm just going to reproduce because it's a strong need screaming inside of me and it's what I have to do. And then there's other people who are like really conscious, right? And they're like, "I don't like my parents. I don't like my society. I'm fucking not having kids. I don't want to make people because they're going to suffer like I did. It's easy for me to suffer being alone than to make 3 or 4 other people who are also suffering and in the same circumstance." So this, like, it goes on forever no matter what. Breeding as a right and a necessity. You are going to make kids because your parents made you, right? That's sort of like obligation. I've totally questioned. So I didn't set out to be an anti-natalist, but that's what I became, is just like, philosophically, my philosophy is anti-natalism, is I don't believe mankind is worth, I believe both mankind is worth fixing and helping, but I don't believe mankind is worth perpetuating automatically. I think it's just toxic. So yeah, I did become a philosophical anti-natalist. My philosophy hates Gambit and all that is anti-natalism. So yeah, it's not a cool word, but it is where I went to. Yeah. So people go to like nihilism because they think it's like, sounds edgy. I'm gonna wear black and be a nihilist. But no, I'm not a nihilist. I'm a anti-natalist. I would have loved to have had a supportive, loving family. That my family had so many demands on my time, school and sports, and then no friends. That shit was awful. That shit was awful. I hate them. I do. I literally hate them. Like, it was my mom's current guy that she got with. I kind of like, she's like, "This guy asked me out 10 times and I've always said no." And so my mom asked my permission to be with him, and I was like, "Go be with him." Because it's like, oh, he's a loser, right? And so I forced them together, and that's really where it is that just like I planted the seeds to get my parents divorced, I planted the seeds to make my mom marry this absolute fucking twisted pedo, basically. And I did it to just fuck her life up. Um, so, which, by the way, I was under 18 when I did that. But yeah, it's just because I just wanted her to suffer. I did. I wanted her to suffer. I was like, "You fucking bitch." Every day getting home, yelling at me. Every day freaking, every day, what do you call it? Every day I'm circumcised, you know. Really, you're gonna cut pieces off my dick in a society that worships cock? Fuck you, you know. And that's what happened, is I got her fucked. Is I got her majorly fucked. And so now the next part of my plan was to threaten her over circumcision. And so she transferred all of her assets to her man. So now her house is her fucking husband's. And so she has to do everything he says. or she's going to be homeless, which is beautiful because she's like in her 70s. She's too old to work now, you know. And she would just live a fucking trashy life somewhere alone. But yeah, she denied responsibility for circumcision when her username is Razor's Edge. I got an email from her saying, I had nothing to do with you being circumcised. And I was like, yes, you did. You said you wanted it because it's cleaner. And your name is Razor's Edge. Okay. So clearly, and she has nothing to do with razors at all, except she likes surgeries because she wants to get high. She'll volunteer herself for surgery so she can go under, because it's like how she gets high. So, yeah. No, my parents sucked. Anybody who looked at Steven with love was a fucking fool. And she was a shrill little bat herself. Real narcissist, right? Her kids cannot have relationships, but she would come home and brag about the people who thought she was cute, you know, and it was just like, yeah, she sucked. My mom, like, held us when we were babies because she had to, but like the physical touch between like my parents and me by the time I could walk was almost non-existent. It was like, you know, a hug a week, pretty much. And it was like just for a few seconds too, just like a little squeeze and then you're separate again. And that's not my style. I just don't like being isolated and in a box like that, you know. So yeah, made me sad. Made me sad. That's a really good way to put it. I found it basically depressing and uninspiring. And yeah. I joined the military and I thought they were way less demanding than my parents. I actually thought the military was a lot nicer than my mom and dad were. Um, yeah. See, if you're ugly, your kids are going to look at you and they're either going to go crazy and say, I'm good enough, or they're going to just like not want to make more of you, which is how I am. I've criticized my brother having kids. I've said, my brother was super anti-religious as a kid, and then the moment he wants to get married, he goes back to the breeding channel like salmon upstream, you know. So, yeah. I did love my parents too. I mean, they're the only people I've known, right? And it's like, I mean, I've known other people, but nowhere near like 18 years, you know. Um, and So yeah, I do have like love and sympathy for them, but they were just mostly annoying. A lot of needs, a lot of self-inflicted problems, a lot of no clue, a lot of just being stupid, and then a lot of ego, right? Is that a lot of these things like my mom's attractiveness or my dad's like religiosity are ego, right? It's my dad thinks he's in the chosen one club, and my mom thinks she's like the hot stuff everyone needs to have. And it's just like there wasn't a lot of place for like love for me. So it's like I'm a lot happier being a quit. I am. I would actually feel bad and have a lot of like anxiety and pain about, and I hate people who don't make the same decision I did. Like people who are modest and humble who go and just like, well, let's just keep this family going. I hate that. I would much rather you quit and get revenge on the government for being pedophiles than, oh yeah, telling people to get revenge on the government for being pedophiles. Whoa, oops, we can't find any views for you. But that's how I really feel. Is I feel that they lied to use, and that they have one coming. Yeah, that the government's basically going to have to, there's going to be a reckoning over who they really are and what they really do. And that has not happened yet. Jeffrey Epstein was just a sideline entertainer. He was not the main core at all. So, Yeah. But yeah, it's like, did God make me? Hell no, my parents made me. I got them to blame for all of this. Why is sugar so sticky? Sugar is sticky. Anyway, there's only like 70 calories in this, right? This is diet? Yeah, that's diet. There's only like 70 calories in this whole drink, and it's like, I can feel it. This stickiness. So, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, imagine me doing thousands upon thousands of art drawing videos, and I've only had a few people like it and get it. I've only had a few people like it and get it. Most people take the angle of, you're just scribbling, which I'm not, you know. So I either think they are bots or they're deliberately not getting it because I look unpopular, right? It's like, oh, well, if you were really as good as you think you are, you would have millions of views. And I'm like, it doesn't work like that. You have to pay them. They want money, right? And unfortunately, like, I do not believe I'm the only person who's noticed that. I think they just filter it, right? I'm not going to successfully tell the audience of a social media company that the social media company is crooked. They're just going to go, shh. And it's like, oh, oops. Your comment was filtered as not relevant. Yeah. Facebook does that all the time. I'll click on a video. I deleted Facebook. I fucking hate Facebook. I do. There's no way. The reason Mark Zuckerberg is a billionaire is the same reason Jeffrey Epstein was a billionaire. Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg, like, Facebook is garbage. Facebook sucks. And one of the shitty things about Facebook is like filtering relevant comments. I'll go to a video and there's like 140 comments and none are displayed because it goes most relevant. Oh, all comments. Okay. You want to see all the comments. It's just annoying. So yeah, I cannot use social media to fight the people who run social media. They're just too, like, stubborn. They're just not going to let it happen. There's they don't have an ideological backbone. They don't have an ideological backbone such as like goodness or fairness or freedom of expression. They are sharks. They go, I win, you lose, right? I get it all, you get nothing. You can pay me to have some views, right? So, do you really think Mark Zuckerberg has tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people liking his posts? Or does he control what the numbers are and he gives himself whatever he wants? So, yeah. I'm really sick of a society that lets that happen. There should be public outrage. It should become like dangerous to be a billionaire. Like, people are going to try to eat you alive, right? Because it's all fake. It's like these people become billionaires because they are insiders. They're in a club to use everyone else, usually about women. And you think Mark Zuckerberg really fell in love with some modest Asian woman, or is she his like cover wife like Bill Gates had, right? Bill Gates had a cover wife while he was going to Epstein Island. It's basically a woman who's easy to manipulate and push around, right? She's got low self-esteem, and so she's going to tolerate infidelities so she can stay connected. And that's what they do. So, yeah. Now, that shit is annoying. It's annoying that Facebook accuses me of spamming for talking a lot when Mark Zuckerberg buys multiple Los Angeles properties right next to each other so he can live in privacy. You know, it's just so annoying. Why should somebody be that rich? You have more than one home, right? It should be you are allowed one home. One home is completely yours, tax-free. It's your space. You own it. And then if you want to go visit another place, you can rent. You're going to go someplace for business, get a fucking hotel. Oh, I need to have a home in every major city so I can fly around and visit all of them. You're wasting our time. You're driving up the housing market. You're taking away available. There's homeless. How are you on your 10th home when there's homelessness? I hate them. I do. Just like the way the society is, from God to the capitalism. I'm not a communist or a socialist, but just like the money slavery is just so annoying. They're just such shitty people. They're completely shitty people. They're like, I get to be rich. No. I get mansions. You can have another job. And they think that's fair. They think that's fair. They think that's what God intended. Well, I get it all because I'm special. Right? These are people who look at you and go, well, you don't get it. Right? I went to buy a used car once and the dude shook my hand. He's like, this is how a man shakes. I did not buy their car. He was a fucking idiot. Yeah. I hate people. Yeah, people are not good. They're not good. They're just not good. I totally support being antinatalist completely. I just don't make any more of them. If you make them, they're going to suffer and they all suck anyway. So, yeah. No, it's a cool idea. I have this prism resin thing I made, and I put a very clear jewel in the tip, and that catches the light really, really awesome. Yeah, that's cool there. I'm thinking about just leaving it out here as a secret, hide it in one of these trees someplace nobody sees. That's a totally different type of tree than the other ones. Yeah, I think I'm going to put it in this tree. This tree is different. It's so funny. So I've got this one type of tree, and then I'm at the top of the hill, and the top of this hill is just the right altitude to have a pine tree. There is a pine tree out here, which is fascinating, right? It's the only pine tree out here. I didn't even realize what it was. Yeah, this is a pine. And all the other ones are some other bullshit, some bush. It's a low altitude bush. But that tree in particular is a pine, which is pretty fascinating. So, and it's because it's on top of a hill. It's just tall enough. It's just tall enough. That's hilarious. Yeah, I'm definitely going to hang my pendant on the tree because it's special. So, maybe I'll get something to bury too. Yeah, I got to get a buriable. I'll water it when I leave. Gosh, I've got so much water. Yeah, I'm only planning on being here until another 5 days. And then it's still too early to get my registration done, so I'm probably going to wait 2 weeks to get my registration done. I got to drive to another city to get my emissions test. It sucks. It sucks you need an address to get a driver's license. It's just so fucking annoying. I hate them for that shit. Yeah, my parents euthanized my cat. They're horrible. They're horrible people. Yeah, as soon as my dad got divorced, we had these 2 huskies. They were pretty young dogs. Yeah, he had them euthanized. Because he's like, well, I got them for the kids and the kids are gone, so fuck these dogs. Yeah. He told me once he was a serial killer. I've written the FBI saying I don't know if you can attach any murders to him. He confessed he did. That's a fact. That's a true thing. That's not me being manipulative. He really told me that when I was a young kid. He's like, I'll tell you a secret, but you'll forget when you're older, right? Which I didn't. In that he's like, I'm a serial killer, and I was like, I wanted to be a serial killer too. And so that's why when I was a young kid, I used to like fuck up other boys and like send them to the hospital. And I never got in trouble at home ever. And it was because it was like I made them proud. So, but it was like kind of good because it took a lot of abuse off of me from my father. Is when my dad was a little scared of me, he got a lot nicer. So some people are like that. Some people are just like they will not respect you while you're nice, and then as soon as they're terrified of you, they're like, oh wow, what a cool guy, he's so awesome, right? And it's not even lip service, like they really feel different about it. So obviously I'm a lot nicer person now. You know, I've spent time meditating, I've spent time doing art, and you know, I don't bully or abuse anyone. But there was a time when I was a monster, right? I was almost about to become a killer too. And I changed course, not because of Jesus, but because I just made a different decision. I was just like, man, I hate those people. And I didn't say there was like a good way to do the world. I kind of just like became a hermit. I gave that up. But yeah, don't ever assume I don't have it in me to absolutely ruin your life. Somewhere deep and dark inside of me is the potential to absolutely fucking ruin your life. And for the most part, like the people I'm blaming are the origin of circumcision. The people who said God said circumcise your kids did it to score girlfriends. Fact, right? And I'm coming for them. I am. I'm leading people to go looking for them, right? And so yeah, I don't believe it was the creator of the universe. I think that they wanted those girls pure and they wanted to do some birth control. It's a very male evolutionary attitude, right? Take out the boys so I get more. It makes tons of sense in evolution. It makes tons of sense if you know anything about nature, like beach mastering, territory fights. Yeah. As soon as they could, the creator told me you got to cut some pieces off your kid. And it's like they talk a lot, but they still do that, right? So that's exactly why I'm like, oh, okay, that's what it was. So yeah, no, it's wrong to blame people who had nothing to do with your problems. Like when I was a kid and I was fucking up those other boys, um, I was blaming the wrong person for my problems. That's one of the reasons I stopped and I like reformed myself. Was I didn't get caught. I didn't get threatened. Nobody told me you're going to get in trouble and go to jail if you do this. No. I consciously decided, wow, I don't like being like this. I'm going to change, right? I consciously decided to be a different person. And it was because I realized they weren't actually the ones who caused my problems. So, yeah, whoever out there is like Boinga Boinga Club, whoever out there is like collecting girls for personal pleasure, I'm coming for you, especially if you authored circumcision for other boys. So, yeah. Because that to me is accurate. It's like, that's like genuine consequences, right? Genuine consequences for pretending to be God to cut the population is that the population can't find out. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I like stamp this on money and stuff like that, is I want people to find out. I want people to know what happened. So, yeah. Yeah. I'm glad no boy, I don't think I murdered anyone. Sometimes I'm not sure. Didn't choke someone out. No, I have. I've choked people out so they're unconscious. I used to smash their fingers too. Of course, smashing fingers is a euphemism for circumcision, so, but hey, you're the ones who taught me that's what we do, right? Let's make this baby unconscious and then cut pieces off his genitals. That's the same thing. So, yeah, I don't feel like responsible for anything I did sub 10. You know, that's really like uh your problem. But yeah, when I got old enough, I made a different choice, which is why we give adults responsibility and not kids, is that kids are really like products of their environment and their teaching, and an adult can make choices. So yeah, when I was just a kid, yeah, I was a violent, dangerous child. I would pretend to be your friend to hurt you. And and but if you're a boy, let me help you out. Boys hate you. If you're a man, men don't like men. Men think you're fucking stupid. Men think they're awesome, right? So, yeah. I don't think it's worth it to play collect all the women to be the ultra daddy. I think that's just like sad for society. I really think it's like you have to look past your evolutionary programming and make new decisions. Yeah. So that's one of the core teachings of my philosophy, is like make life better by changing life, right? Um, Also, make life better by identifying secret users, right? You know, is there a billionaire with multiple mansions because they're in a pedo club? They're willing to sacrifice your kids and not talk about it, so their loyalty is rewarded with a handout. You know, that's really like an issue. I don't think users are like poor people. Like, I really look at a lot with a lot of sympathy for like homeless men and women. God, they probably went through some hell. They're probably so fucked up they can't help themselves. I really think that. So it's like, I'm not blaming them. Oh, you need to get on disability because you're fucked up. That's not a lot of money. That's quite a modest amount of money. And yeah. So yeah, I don't trust people like Donald Trump. I'm gonna own multiple properties worldwide. Yeah, fuck you. You know, you fucking greedy sack of shit. You already have a massive castle on the beach. How much more do you need? Mar-a-Lago. I hate that guy. He acts cool. He's not. He's just a fucking shark. He's a giant money bag going, give me more, please. You know. So, yeah. Yeah. How I quit drugs and alcohol. By realizing people would prank me. Yeah, they would be like, oh, smoke this glue, or hey, put this poison in your body for fun. And and then taking farm animal dewormer. That was the other thing, is I took dewormers that were forbidden to people. So this dewormer works on cows, horses, chickens, goats, dogs. And they're like, but not for human consumption. So I did it anyway. And I do think that there was a big improvement in like, I was suffering because I think I was like all my blackheads and my acne disappeared and stuff. And I think I was just like beset with like toxic parasites, and taking like a strong dewormer, actually, I think, and I did that like every month for multiple months. I really think that that helped. Um, like, it made quitting easy because I was no longer like self-medicating. But yeah, no, life is nasty. Life is nasty. And as much as like, let me join the side of circumcision for a minute. Men are dog-headed, stubborn idiots who are totally self-interested in their dicks. And as soon as you turn around, they're going to be going out and looking for chicks and having a bunch of babies with no thought to their lives or their futures. And so cutting them and making them study, here you're going to read books about how to be a good person, was an improvement. But the problem is, the people who thought of that as a solution were greedy men thinking with their dicks. So it didn't make anything better. It was just like a crime. It was a crime, right? So it is a catastrophic circumstance. Yeah. It's not easy. It's not easy, you know. There's rabbits and coyotes out here. At night I hear them sometimes. They don't raid my stuff, but there's definitely a little bit of a war where the yipper crowd will get going when they're about to get a kill, and they all howl together, you know. So a lot of these mice are just like perpetual victims. They survive into the future with nonstop extreme breeding, and they feed so many creatures because there's just so many of them. Infinite meals for predators. Yeah. Circumcision was probably biologically necessary, but the people who did it are men who, you know, did it to benefit themselves. And that's like this twist that a lot of people don't see, is they go, no, circumcision came from God, or circumcision's aesthetic, or circumcision's for cleanliness, or it's for health. All of those are BS. Circumcision is about turfing over women. Fact. You know, and they just like, they don't see it because it would blow their minds, because it's like, wait, we're living on planet Earth with people who run harems. They don't work at all. They just fuck women all day. Yes. That's actually who you are, and you're the cuck other to them. And so that's why I hate my parents. I was like, you went right to the church, you went right to the government and said, sign me and my little spawn up. And I just like, it got a lot better. My life got way better when I started hating them and distrusting them. Yeah. My life sucked when I was trying it their way, when I was trying to like see it their way or do it their way. Oh man, my life was awful. But it was when I was willing to, one of my stamps is my enemies lose and fail and die, you know? And, so one of the problems is that English, all the languages are cursed. All the languages are cursed on purpose, and that the real government speaks like in plutonic solids. And you have a cursed script that's confusing and law oriented, because they want to make you susceptible. You can't write curses against them because your language is subjugated. So, one of the ways that I beat that is with drawing. And the other way that I beat that is with just a trick I developed that I'll keep to myself. But yeah, I definitely have like I want, they teach you to forgive. This is why they teach you to forgive, because they know they wronged you. And they're afraid that what they did to you will actually come back and hurt them. That's really why. They know they did you wrong, and they don't want justice to come back for them. So they say, we're letting go now. We're having faith, and we're forgiving. It's not because they're forgiving people. It's because they want you to get over it. So, yeah. You can't target what you can't see. They're not going to tell you who they are. They're not going to give you a face and a name and an address. Then you could find them and do something about it. So, just something to consider. Just something to consider. So yeah, anyway, just ending the vlog. I do one of these speeches every time. I've never had someone online hear what I just said and comment on it at all. I've done probably 100 of these at least. And I've never, ever, ever heard someone be like, you know, you're right. I think that too. Nope. They don't say shit. So, because they can't hear it or see it. It gets filtered as irrelevant or not appropriate by the machine they made. So, yeah, I get my revenge by stamping money. Yeah. I stamp money. I fly it on the back of my car. I've seen cops pull up bumper to bumper with me to read what I'm saying and sit there for a minute. They don't turn their lights on and pull me over. They go on their way, you know. Informed now. And if you're not close to thinking what I tell you, it's going to shock you. It's going to piss you off. Yeah. It's really like not good. So most people don't know they're the slaves of pedophiles. They think that their elected representatives are real and their religions are genuine attempts to know the creator. Their religions are slave hoaxes and you are a slave to rapists. That's the reality. And that's not like conjecture. I know that, right? So that's like the big issue. So, hey, it's sad. I mean, a lot of nerve of me to complain about it while I eat dairy, right? Clearly, I'm very self-interested when I talk about the problems like that. But I was a vegetarian, yeah. Anyway, sad times. But yeah, it's warmed up. It's both warm and cloudy, which is perfect. I don't have the freaking sun cooking me, and I get to like relax. So I'm gonna check out RE9 when it comes out. Who might the secret government be? I honestly think it's Asia. I think the secret government's either under Asia or under Africa, like under Egypt and stuff like that. Maybe under Rome and Europe, or maybe under all of them, right? It wouldn't surprise me if there's like a tunnel network connecting the whole underground. Like, that would not surprise me at all. Uh, People have mentioned like under the ocean even. So, yeah, they're extremely like, one of the things is that I hope I'm scaring them by talking about it. And I fly bumper stickers I've never seen anyone fly. People talk about the issues they get given from the media. People fly bumper stickers from, uh, you know, political or religious issues, and I fly bumper stickers articulating the situation in a more direct way toward the real source of our problems. Just like a slaughter cow might be like, these humans use us for beef, right? It's exactly like that. It's like, I went through class once and she's like, you can't associate anything with slavery. It was a rule, right? It's like this argument class. She's like, no saying it's like slavery. Well, why not if it's like slavery? Because it's not. Slavery was different. And I was like, I hated her. I was like, this is fucking bullshit. I'm glad I dropped out of college. College is a waste of time. Go to college if you want to learn some like super technical thing, but a lot of college students are looking to make a career in education. And I would go to college if you want to like get around scientific equipment, spectrum analysis, anything like that. That's basically too expensive for a ordinary person to own. And yeah, get into college if you want to get in like really technical depth. Don't go to school because it's something to do, and don't go to school for a social life. This is a huge misconception about school. School is not for a social life at all. School is different, right? Don't go to school for a social life. Where's my lighter? There it is. So these are pretty cool. They work. I like that it's USB-C rechargeable. Um, Doesn't, if you have a normal lighter, you're going to throw that shit away pretty fast. Selling something reusable. Thank you. Yeah, it may be less sales overall, but you're helping make people's lives better. So, yeah. Anyway, good luck. I hope someone hears this one day. I hope my bumper sticker and dollar drop strategy. Like, here's the problem. Don't think for a second media and social media take up real stories and share real things people actually care about. It's propaganda. They choose what to share. The propaganda is based on two things: follow all the laws, and there's no secret government. This other issue is going on, right? That's what the propaganda is. So it's like, it's really tough to detect lies unless you know who is lying and about what. What's the lie about? What's the angle? Who is the liar and why are they lying? And unless you know that, it's really tough to tell. It just looks like it's real. Oh, we're celebrating a Christmas party. That's about circumcision. We're celebrating the New Year ball drop. That's about circumcision. It's just, it's garbage. It is. You celebrate January 1st when you do because it was the day Jesus was circumcised. It's not the shortest day of the year. It's not the beginning of the new year. It's the day Jesus was made pure. Now we have a real beginning. So, yeah. Sucks. That's one of the reasons I don't have kids, is I'm just like humiliated. It's like, who wants to be me? I wish, as smart as my parents thought they were, they didn't know this. So they really, like, they won't talk to me now. When I tell them this shit, they go like, all right, well, I don't know you. That's what my parents said. They said they don't know me. So, man, it's just like, they suck. I don't think I'll ever be famous either because I don't toe the party line. Like Van Gogh sucked, but Van Gogh cut his own ear off, and Van Gogh talked about God a lot. And so he had a publicity rising because he was a religious person. And that they can use that. Same thing with like Da Vinci. They're not the best. They act like they are, they're not. They're the best because they toe the party line, which is believe in this faith stuff. God has really got you, right? Newton thought the Bible was real. That's why he's famous. Differential calculus isn't the best way to do it, or really even that interesting. But it was very, very useful for promoting a religious attitude. Oh yeah, this is the smartest guy who ever lived. See, he said God is real. It's not because people believe it. It's because they want you to believe it. And I guess I'll leave it at that. So, it's sad. It's sad horse shit. It is. Shame on the creator for making trillions of galaxies and problems too. You really made trillions of galaxies and issues? Whoa. Talk about a heavy burn. Just like, what a greedy ego. Did you see how much stuff there is? Yeah, who cares? You fucking ruined it. So anyway. Yeah, that's part of my life. A part of what I do is I prepare like time capsule jars to try to beat government soul control. And the other thing that I do is I try to inform people about what's really going on so they can make a new decision. Because if you're flying, I love Jesus, God is my friend, and you find out, yeah, the government pretended to be God to cut your dicks off and they're really pedophiles, a lot of people have resistance to that. They don't want to hear it. It's shocking to them. But I think it's the truth so much that they're going to just adopt it. that it's gonna eventually it's gonna work its way into their mind, and they're gonna change and see my perspective. So yeah. It's not easy work. It's both hard and lonely, but it's what has to happen. A lot of the world's workers have done what they do. Oh, you think all the garbage men are idiots? Or do they do it because they know it needs doing? You know? So yeah, there's two types of people. There's the person who wants to live in the mansion for free because he's so great, because he loves his gold, and none of them are as godly, right? And then there's people who know it's horseshit and they just do what we need doing because we need it done. So I tried to be in the former category, and I saw it's easy, but it's also manipulative. It takes a very like duplicitous mind, because you're gonna like fool yourself to get it done. And the second one feels a lot better. It's a lot more grounded, but it's like a lot less glamorous. Doing what people need doing because we need doing it. But anyway, that's how I tried to live my life. I was like, it's like when we had to unload a truck, I was first in the truck carrying stuff out. When we had to do any like group project thing, I was always pulling my weight and doing what I could. Um, but yeah, don't care about school. The school assignments, man, you should not be doing school assignments. It's just slave breaking. You should have an interest in doing things we actually need doing, and learn things directly, like on the job directly. Um, and maybe there should be education, yeah, for like math and science, but and of course how to speak and write. But for the most part, it's like it's dog training. It should. I wish if I could go back, I would have dropped out of high school and gotten a GED. I don't give a fuck. Get a GED. None of those people I knew in high school matter to me today at all. Not one of them. You know. I hope they have nice lives. Like, I'm not hating on them, but I just don't care. Like, they didn't matter, right? I was trying to impress people who didn't care about me. They didn't care. You think my teachers wanted me to get a good grade? You think any of the college professors fucking cared if I got it? No, dude. That's their job. They're doing that so they're doing that to prey on young people and so they're not homeless. All those educators are looking to get from some hot young ass. They don't fucking give a fuck. So, yeah. Yep. Always remember that the hard truths of life are given to you by people who own multiple mansions and fuck kids. Always remember that they basically don't care, and it's a scam. So, yeah. And remember, the creator let all the animals eat each other for millions of years. Is that the creator doesn't give a fuck if you make it or not. Doesn't give a shit. So you can't like trust God, right? If God could talk, I guess I'll leave on this last point. If God could talk, the priest and pastor wouldn't have to talk for him. And if God made everything, the Bible wouldn't come out of a printer, right? If the creator of everything was interested in giving you a book, it would flash out of the air. If the creator of everything could speak, it would speak on its own behalf. The trick of religion is telling you that the creator told one holy person, y'all aren't good enough. One person was told it once, and God told him what to tell us, and this is what it is, and you better have faith. And it's a trick. It's 0% true, right? But it's a trick that the government desperately needs you to believe so they can stay in power. So there's no free lip service is given by them for me, right? I can tell you here and no one is going to see it. So, but I get to leave that I knew, right? Hopefully they don't delete this. I think they're going to keep it for enforcement, so there's a chance that one day it'll be discovered anyway. And yeah, you'll know that I knew. I knew what time it was. I knew what time it is, right? So I love that. I had an enemy once. This dude was just difficult to deal with, and he was like kind of an awful person. But he told me, and I love this line. He goes, "I know what time it is," right? And I was like, I love that line. I know what time it is. Not talking about the literal time. I know what time it is. You know. God says, cut some pieces off your kid's genitals. Oh. Yeah, that really came from the creator of the universe. It's shit. It's shit. So, yeah, my proudest moment was deciding not to have kids, not to pursue a relationship with anybody, and not to breed. That was smart. That was actually over time that's proved to be a genius move. And my poor brother, right? He found love and had a kid, and now he's a Christian. My dad was a middle child too. So, yeah, my middle brother is man, I used to lie all the time. Like how many members of my family, all this stuff. I used to just like compulsive liar, right? And that was around when I was a student and when I was like kind of in society trusting them. And all of my lies disappeared when I realized I was circumcised and I realized like how the world really worked. Because I wasn't like, it is like if you feed garbage to a kid, hey, I'm gonna lie to you all day. I want you to repeat my lies back to me as though they're the truth. So I'll give you a good grade for getting it. And then that kid goes to tell the truth. It just sounds nuts. Bunch of made up people, stuff that never happened, right? And when I realized that they lied to me first, then it was like, oh, I can't trust them at all, right? Then that's when like my lies all got cleaned up. I no longer had like these like compulsive, unconscious untruths where like for no reason, like talking to strangers about an issue that doesn't matter, just making up some horse shit that never happened. And it's just like, now I'm really grounded, especially the past like few years. I don't say anything that's not true. I say it exactly as it is. I don't lie at all. I don't make it up, you know, and it's because like I was being conditioned by liars to repeat bullshit. And so like my baseline when I went for like that whip crack truth, it was just kind of all over the place. And when I pulled up those root lies, I got like way more honest. I'm like, yeah. So, is it easy being me? Fuck no. It fucking sucks. It is hard and uncomfortable and not fun being me at all. A lot of pain, a lot of discomfort, very little reward. But you pissed me off. I hate you enough to chew your bones, you know, so there's that kind of keeps me going. So yeah, it's like, what's his name, not Rob Spiner, that the actor and his wife who were murdered by their son, he like stabbed them to death. I totally like the fake smile, her fake smile, the pressure they put him under. Yeah, the drugs are poison. Definitely him doing hard drugs was a mistake. That'll ruin your mind because that's another trap. But I can totally understand how like they would put pressure on him, like, Hey, mom and dad, I just want to sit around and get high all day. Absolutely not. You need a this, that, and the other. And just like one day that like pressure boils over and, you know, their mentally wounded son took poison. His fucking mind is fucked up. Lashed out at them. So, do I believe he's guilty? No. Do I believe he should be let out of prison ever? Also, no. I think he should be basically in a box for the rest of his life. He just can't be trusted outside. You know, I hope he has like a fucking entertainment device and, you know, food and a toilet and all that stuff, but you can't let him out ever. He's gonna cause havoc. But is he like guilty of a crime? He's fucked up. I think insanity definitely counts. That he's not a conscious criminal. He's just like reacting. So, yeah. Too dangerous to let go, but probably not his fault ultimately. And I definitely blame the parents for like, they're just like, no offense, they're like shiesty Jews. They believe in circumcision and they're really controlling and their smiles are fake. They're really jerks, you know. And that I'm sure whenever the door, Rob Reiner, that was his name, Rob Reiner, not Spiner. Rob Reiner, whenever the doors were closed, I'm sure he was getting an earful. He may have even been the scapegoat child, you know. Probably his mom was constantly nagging and his dad too. And then here comes the kicker, here comes the crux. Both of them motherfuckers is ugly. Rob Reiner's mom is ugly. Rob Reiner's dad is ugly, right? And so he's looking at himself in the mirror and he's hearing these people be disappointed in him and he just made the choice. He's like, fuck them. So, and I hope that sends, they're gonna all cry because that's all them. The reason most people react to that circumstance with like outrage is because they are also those parents. They are also ugly, shitty, stupid people who smile because that was what they were taught, who harass their kids into doing what they want, who are deeply terrified of justice coming to find them because it's going to hurt and they're going to die. So that's why they're freaking out, is because they are those shitty parents and those shitty kids. You know, they see themselves in that situation. So, yeah, it sucks. Y'all, it's really audacious that the society that circumcises baby boys also forbids silly slide. You know, it's like, well, we're going to torture you, but no leaving. You better not quit. We won't have that. It's just fucking idiotic. The people who do all the work have no representation and get paid like dog shit. And the people who don't do any work, not really the poor and the homeless, but like the real rich, are just greedy floaters who think they're magic. They think by the power of magic, meaning greed and ego, I'm going to have 10 plus mansions because I'm great. Because this is how much God loves me, right? And it's the sickest shit when you know God is alive, from pedophiles to R-word kids. Yeah, this society is sick to its core. Yeah. So, yeah, when I give people my stamped money or I tell them the truth, I don't expect them to know what to say. I don't expect them to have a good response. Hey, let me burst this giant bubble called your fucking head, right? They're not going to have it together, but I have to do it, or you're going to be the rotten slaves of pedophiles forever. So anyway, that's the speech. That's the speech. Yeah, it warmed up. It's perfect right now. It's both warm and cloudy. Ooh, no sun and I'm not freezing. Nice. Yeah, no, it was cold. We're talking like high wind at like 8 degrees. Oh man, 8 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh man, that was cold. I didn't want to draw at all. Just didn't feel good. But yeah, now it's warmed up. And it's going to stay about this temp. It's not going to just suddenly get hot. It's going to be like moderate like this. So, yeah. I'll be out here a few more weeks. There's this cat camping near the entrance who is like, he's been here for months, and there's no signs limiting this, and I just don't care. I'll leave no trace and be compassionate. But yeah. I was like, what is that? That's my soda letting off gas. Pretty cool, though. Pretty cool. I got one of these for, like, my stamps stuff. Yeah, I'm going to make, like, a full scroll. My stamp documents. And hide this in here and then have it. It's like a magic will. Yeah, everything I see on the TikTok shop, I've got to go look for in Amazon, because Amazon just has the best delivery service. You can pick it up from a Whole Foods. They'll hold it for a month. That's awesome. That's really cool. I like that. Yeah, so I always I do all my shopping online, and then when I go to town, I pick it all up. And I've got a mountain of boxes to burn. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that fire extinguisher saved my life. Yeah, that fire was getting out of control. The thing was getting out of control. I could have stopped it with busting open the water, obviously. That would have been a permanent solution, but I was like, fire extinguisher. And that was cool. So that's the second time I've ever used one, and it works. So I got 2 more canisters coming, just in case. And yeah, this shit is good. Non-toxic, environmentally friendly. But yeah. Well, I appreciate you watching and listening. I cover some heavy subjects, and I kind of have a monotone voice. Not monotone, but I just keep a rhythm going. So that's pretty deliberate from a hypnosis standpoint. But yeah, it's super serious. Like, I totally know boys, and I hate boys. Yes, circumcise them, because he thinks he's better than you, and he's gonna go for her anyway, right? Like how it happens in nature is they fight to the point of rage, right? Full on combat, right? Just over the womb, right? Just over who has the right to breed, right? And women are also simps for that. They don't. Some girls will like try to break up boy fights, but a lot of them will just let it happen because they need to know who actually is strongest. I want to see it, And so women are kind of like useless solving that. So yeah, I developed the Eternal Pleasure Body AI spaceship core because I thought it was an alternative idea to service to the religions, because service to the religions is service to the government. If you're serving the religions, you're serving the government. Yeah. So, which is just like meant to free my people. It's just meant to save humanity from. They're always talking about saving humanity, but they're never like, is humanity the problem? Do you slaughter 1 billion animals a year and circumcise baby boys so little girls are virgins? Humanity might be the issue, right? It may not be aliens or demons. It might just be rich people. So there's just this funny idea. I own it because my father owned it and he gave it to me, right? And all these simps are like, oh yes, that's definitely yours, sir. I will die protecting it. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? I can understand, hey, this is my home. I don't have any other home. I live here. Yeah, that's your shit, dude. That's totally your shit. but it's like, hey, this is our 13th palace in this city. And I'm like, fuck you. You don't get that much. You're going to own, you're one family, you're going to own multiple palaces. Fuck you. Yeah. That shit's dumb. So I would love to have this style where like I have multiple wives, just like women who want to be with me, right? Never like forcing anyone, but women who actually want to be there. And have like multiple kids on land, right? Where it's like we have like a big parcel of land, like a huge parcel of land, right? And every new kid has like get them a Connix, build them their own room, and have like a city where like these people can live there. And then it's like if they ever want to like hook up or get their wife or whatever, I would never let my kids have my male children have multiple wives. I'd be like, go start your own colony. This is my colony, right? It'd be a little bit of like embrace nature that way, but yeah. Yeah, give them so they don't have to work and so they have a home. It's like if you want a place to stay and you need a place to eat, you know, you want to have a place at the table, you'll always have a place at the table. I'll never reject. See, my parents never gave me that guarantee. My mom and dad were never like, we'll always be your family, we'll always love you. We'll you can always count on our home as your home. They never said anything like that. You know, they absolutely were like, well, we can use his fear of being homeless against him to make him do what we like. So, yeah. You know, I got some big dangs in my life. Some things I wanted really didn't work out. Rusty was like that. You know, we're nephew of one of the director producers of Pinky and the Brain and Animaniacs. He has 6 Emmys for the show. Um, he even has an award he shared with Steven Spielberg, right? And so I was like, wow, I've got this amazing family. Hey, can I become an actor? No, he's dead now. But my sniveling Steven, you know, he both got me circumcised and then he denied me being an actor or being in Hollywood because no one, quote, no one ever made me an actor, right? Because Steven wasn't allowed. I had to do things that he did. My dad swam. I had to swim. My dad played baseball. I had to play baseball, right? It's like, hey, can I be an actor? Well, no one ever made me an actor, you know? And so, yeah, he was a little piece of shit. Yeah, I definitely like hate my dad. Just like Rusty was cool to know because he was influential in like my desire to be an artist and stuff like that. But it really was like to like, oh, you want this? No, you don't get it, right? Oh, you want a nice dick? No, fuck you, right? Oh, you want a career in Hollywood? No, fuck you, right? And it just felt like that was like kind of the pattern with life. It was like, oh, can I have this? No, right? Yeah, everybody wants that. Fuck you, right? And that just kind of was like, just this like put me off to God and life in general. So I was just like, fuck you, dude. I would have loved to have had like a nice dick and a career in Hollywood. That would have been amazing, right? But it was like just forbidden by the people who made me, right? Is they didn't want to see their little spawnling have a better life than they had. So yeah, it would take a really cool and loving person, which my dad is not, to have children and then get them into entertainment for sure. And I don't know if that was punishment. Maybe in a past life I had kids who I denied. Oh yeah, we've got we've got a famous uncle, but you aren't good enough, and right? So maybe that was like my just punishment, but a part of me just feels like that's just the shit life does, Any one of those famous people have numerous associates, and very rarely do any of them become anything. So yeah. Yeah, Rusty was killed by the butt cancer, which I say he was killed by getting a going to the doctor. Is that they just oops, we found something, and then when the radiation kills them, they go like, oh look, they died of the cancer, right? So I don't trust them at all. I used to always have like tooth problems, and then I stopped brushing my teeth and all my tooth problems went away. I've said it before, the dentist makes the dents. When the dentist goes in with a metal tool, he's actually trying to poke into your teeth to start a problem. So, because then that's more money. Then he's got business. Are people like that? Yes. Would people poison everyone to sell them a solution? Absolutely. That's who they are. So, yeah, I didn't make people out of like genuine concern that people were garbage. And, yeah, and you are, because you've been morphed by pedophiles, right? The what you think is moral and what you think is right is a story told by manipulators. And so, yeah, you are totally fucked up. There is nothing like goodness in you. And it's just how it is. So what really needs to happen is like the living slaves need to get it together and figure out what's going on. And you have to dramatically change the power structure of Earth for the first time ever. And that's kind of like the situation as I see it. Maybe one day you could have a nice society, but none of us will have it. And the worst thing you could do is go along with it and trust it. The worst thing you could do is like be okay with it. Do it anyway. Have faith. That's a mistake. That's a mistake. So, and it's sad to say that. It is. I wish that wasn't the case, but it is. So, anyway, I hope you get it together. I do. But yeah, I do what I do to raise awareness about the real situation and to try to, if I have a soul, to protect my soul from coming back here again. I'm not interested in being the government's slave again. I'm very interested in, I'm also not interested on starting my own pedo colony on another planet. If you could offer me rebirth as like the head pedophile, I would not take it. I'm not interested in that at all. I'm not interested in hurting boys, and I'm not interested in having girls like slaves. I'm really not interested in that. I would take the Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core. Yeah, I would take a sort of like, a body that I can modify, and then a growing home that has some technique for taking energy. See, this is my argument, right? The way nature is a very small example of what is totally possible. And so you can't say because plants need the sun and soil and water, and because animals need to eat, therefore everything is a burn. It's not necessarily correct. Is that you could find easy techniques for doing anything, right? Like this magnet, right? These magnets provide a constant pulling force. When I put this magnet on my ceiling, it is pulling constantly into the ceiling. And so if you could have things like constant force in a solid object, non-electrified, then you could certainly have things like electrets or even other stuff that's like easy energy. And so once you get easy energy, I know the thermodynamics people are like, energy can't be created or destroyed, only transformed. Fuck you. I don't care about your educated principles. I don't. You know. You also can't see my art, so fuck you. You know. Um, yeah, is that when you develop an easy source of energy, then you can have like people who live forever for free. And that's my goal for you, is like not to destroy humanity, but to get you to transform yourselves. And first comes awareness of who you belong to. Who are you the pets of? You have to address that like a really big issue, right? You have to address that. And I hide diagrams and I hide information in my art for you. But I do it in a way that I don't think you'll understand it until you get free of the government, and then you'll see it correctly, right? And that is a feat that I'm impressed with. I'm surprised I could do that, but I think it'll work. I do. I think it's going to be successful. So, yeah. Anyway, um, I hope better days are on the way for you and your kids. I have had enough of the suffering of this world, and I think a lot of it is inflicted by our enemies, that people hate us, and it doesn't have to be horrible. It's just horrible because that's how we did it. So, yeah, good luck. Hope it works out good for you one day. I do. I do. Yeah. And I hope that I get free of the soul trap for their slaves and the domination of the government. I am not their pet. They did not make me. I don't owe them anything. Right. So, and I hope my parents agree with my perspective and feel really embarrassed at themselves. Hope my parents really understand what trash they were, as you all should. So, sad. Yeah, they banned negativity and promoted positivity only. Why? Because the situation is really negative and there's really nothing to be positive about. You know, if you gossiped, meaning talk about what you know, and if you were negative, the story would change. If you heard scandalous details about others, and if you were negative, the story would dramatically change, and a lot of these problems would be undone. That's the reason why they banned gossip, is because they don't want you to tell the congregation members that they're about to be victimized. And the reason that they banned negativity is that, and the reason they promote positivity is that they are negative. They did lie about God to our word kids. They're incredibly negative, and the negative polarity needs a positive person. I need you giving and hardworking and optimistic, so you'll be a slave for me, right? And so when you're positive, like, I'm just looking on the bright side, I'm being grateful, you think you're like getting ahead, when really you're just like feeding the machine. So you won't hear that online ever. Nobody's gonna tell you that shit online, not once.